Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello there. I'm Batman. And I would like to share with you all today about my favorite philosopher and religious critic, Immanuel Kant. More specifically, I'd like to explain why I follow in Kant's footsteps in my handling of the bad guys of Gotham in other daily Batman duties. In Bradley L. Herling's A Beginner's Guide to the Study of Religion, Immanuel Kant is described as, quote, one of the greatest champions of thinking for oneself. Kant encouraged his peers to, quote, dare to be wise. That's from page 49. I, Batman, dare to be wise, as I will explain. Kant was a big part of the Enlightenment in Europe. The Enlightenment represented a transition from explaining reality through divine revelation and other ethereal explanations to describing reality through the lens of reason. As for religion, Immanuel Kant said, quote, the true and alone religion contains nothing but laws, i.e. practical principles, whose unconditional necessity we are conscious of, and which therefore we recognize by reason, not a posteriori, as revealed. End quote. That's from Kant's Religion Within the Boundaries of Pure Reason, page 224. In Kant's time, religious tradition was still the dominating force of Western society. He was key in bringing about the transition from religious dogmatism to critical analysis and concrete scientific inquiry in the West. However, Kant still used terms like scripture and even the Holy One, as he wrote to an audience of Christians. But Kant said that reason must be the driving force in identifying truth, instead of saying something is true because God said so. How, then, am I Batman? A Kantian in the religious sense? Well, we have to look at one of Kant's main philosophical stances first. Kant is perhaps most well known for his idea of the categorical imperative, fleshed out in his Grounding for the Metaphysics of Morals. The categorical imperative is the one type of law which is moral for its own means, and not moral for the end which those means bring about. The categorical imperative, in Kant's own words, is defined with the following, quote, hence there is only one categorical imperative, and it is this. Act only according to the maxim, whereby you can at the same time will that it shall become a universal law. Page 30. In other words, rules, laws, duties are morally correct if they can be applied to everyone at all times, rather than to situations or individuals. I follow the categorical imperative in my life by always following my one rule. Always. No matter how many people my enemies kill and how much damage they cause, I will never kill anyone myself. There's this stupid book out there called Batman and Philosophy, written by this stupid guy, Mark D. White, who asks if my rule is best for Gotham, seeing how the Joker is a crazy murderer who keeps killing people because I refuse to kill him, as if it were my fault. My rule is the best for Gotham, in case you were wondering. I don't kill the Joker, or anyone for that matter, because I follow my duty, no matter what. So, I am a philosophical Kantian. And a religious Kantian. Let me explain how. In the same way that Immanuel Kant sees moral choices as black or white, and I prefer black, all or nothing, he views true religious practice as driven by pure rationality, as much as is humanly possible. In Christopher Nolan's telling of my story, the Dark Knight trilogy, I am a religious exemplar, one driven by rationality. Those around me are driven by their emotions, different situations, and in Two-Face's case, luck. Instead, I'm the Kant of Gotham, baby. Let's look at Nolan's movies to see what you all can learn. Batman Begins is my origin story. My parents died when I was just a boy, and I've been pissed about it ever since. I had to go through the rite of passage to become Batman. Almost immediately, my story is guided by Kant's principles. When I became Batman, after vowing to purge Gotham after my parents' death, I ditched Bruce Wayne. Some random guy who I used to be, and became less human, more godlike, by following a symbolic figure. But instead of finding such a figure, searching for him, I became the ideal myself. I became a symbol for fighting evil by rational means, as I learned the fighting arts and got myself some sick combat armor. I quickly became a saintly figure in Gotham. I was cleaning up the streets and taking down corruption. I beat up all the bad guys. Then one day, my mentor Ra's al Ghul showed up in Gotham and threatened my city. After I beat him up a bit, and it came time to decide what to do with the man, I followed my one rule. I swear I did. I told Ra's, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. And then let the train that he was in fall. It was a fairly difficult decision, but I did follow Kant's philosophical and religious principles in that case. Moving on. The next movie Nolan made about me, The Dark Knight, opens with a scene of the Joker and his henchmen committing a bank robbery. Joker says to the bank manager, quote, I believe that whatever doesn't kill you makes you stranger. What a freak. The Joker is exactly the kind of irrationality and fanaticism that Kant warned us about on the part of the religious. Rules, followed even with good intentions, but lacking reason, is bound to be disastrous. I got fairly desperate as I fought the Joker, and he kept killing everyone, so I was willing to turn myself in at his request. I almost had to sacrifice my pure Batman reason to the Joker's madness. Then Harvey Dent, the district attorney nicknamed Gotham's White Knight, stepped up and claimed to be me. That worked for a while, and the Joker was taken to jail. But of course, the Joker found a way to escape and corrupt Harvey Dent. It is a truly magnificent person who is able to maintain high ideals through every situation. Unlike Batman, Harvey Dent was not one of them. He became evil when the Joker killed my beloved Rachel. Two-Face. Two-Face is just like the conflicting motivations within a person. He is good on one side, for a time, and is evil on the other side, and in certain situations. Without a categorical imperative to guide him, and a religious practice guided by reason, he was doomed. So I had to deal with Two-Face even after I beat up the Joker. To save Commissioner Gordon's family, I had to tackle Two-Face out of a building. It was a couple of stories up, so Two-Face, I walked away with just a limp and a bum back for a while. But I was fine. Oh, and I lost all the cartilage in my knees. It's alright, though. In addition to the sick combat armor, I got a sick knee brace later on. The Dark Knight Rises wrapped up this trilogy, and the beginning explained how I became the scapegoat for Two-Face. The innocent Batman took the fall for Harvey's evil deeds so that Gotham could still believe in goodness. I'll admit this probably wasn't the most rational thing to do. The religious symbolism of a scapegoat is a common one, but in this case it was built on a lie. And I shouldn't lie. Kant would not agree with that. Lying cannot be made a universal law. Anyway, I tried to beat up this bad guy Bane, but he beat me up instead and broke my back. That kind of sucked, not gonna lie. But I still did the rational thing. Push-ups and sit-ups until my back healed, and I could climb out of the prison Bane stuck me in. I made it back to Gotham and restored my city to reason, law, and order. I drove the Batwing and carried the nuclear bomb that Bane had planted away from the city. So how am I here, you ask, if I died as a sacrifice to Gotham? Well, let me tell you. That religious theme doesn't always apply to rational Kantians like Batman. I did the rational thing and jumped out of the aircraft before the explosion. I installed autopilot after all, way before Tesla did it. I died a martyr, but later Alfred saw me in heaven, actually a vacation destination with Catwoman. So, I leave you with this question. Who has two thumbs and is a rationally religious exemplar? Batman.